It is really interesting to hear a lot of different types of hype about XRP, but people do have to understand this is not just hype. We are going to present you the facts why I think XRP is going to go sky high in the near future. And look at the price, it's just correcting back to its trend line. In the last wave, we were just having a slight move to the upside with higher lows, but right now in this cycle it's being elevated. Now at the same time, you have to look at the macro scenario here. This is a file or a report from Swiss Bank, and as you read through this, you are going to get a lot of information which we talked here in the Scientific Investor channel for a long time. Then we jump onto the Bank of England. Now, Bank of England website kind of show you the new forms of money and what it looks like in the upcoming future. Then you jump onto the BIS document, where it's getting really interesting because they talk about being in a niche, looking for that utility perspective. Now it's not coming from the XRP holders, it's coming from Bank of International Settlement, which is considered as the central bank of central banks, right? Then another document from Bank of International Settlements. You come on here and they take you to an area which is like on the page 26, innovation and the emerging regulatory response from crypto assets to stable coins. Now in the document, when you read clearly, you kind of understand they're talking about stable coin. It doesn't actually mean it's pegged to a dollar, right? It's fluctuating, closer to that dollar. It's not that. It's compared to others, the price is stable, because they talk about Bitcoin and others in this form of currency, showing that it was designed as a peer-to-peer cash, but due to its volatility, it's not happening. The adoption rate as a peer-to-peer payment system is not on the top of it. Now, why is this so important for XRP? We need to actually go through, read through and explain the scenario, and then look at the current price action. Say XRP shows you this stuff, it went up, it always corrects something similar in this particular bull market and slowly climb back up and then burst. So right now we are near that breakout and then a consolidation, move to the upside and break to the upside, reaching $2 first and then moving higher. So what do you expect in near future, right? So if you are like me thinking, okay, what can XRP do to my portfolio in next 2 months or 3 months, then for me, that's really good and a huge ROI if XRP is actually reaching $6 to $9 mark in next 2 to 3 months. So what's the odds for this? When you look at the price action, then the time series, looking at the MACD and RSI, you can say last couple of times when the price moved, it did like 20% more in case of time, and you take the ROI to the other side, but in case of time, it shows you 30 to 40% of odds that this would reach a new high by next 70-80 days. Now that's not actually bad stuff. Even if there is 1% of chance, people are betting on meme coins. So when you have 30 to 40% of chance that an asset which was correcting down like this and starting to move upside with huge fundamentals is now showing you a possibility, because when the Bitcoin dominance is slowing down, Ether, XRP and other large cap coins are going to move high. Now within that one, XRP is a little bit lagging, but when it starts to shoot, it goes high. Now that being said, you have to also look at the altcoin side, right? When Bitcoin dominance is dropping, altcoin is showing you this. It came down, it wicked back up. It came down, it wicked back up with a green bullish candle, and then again a hammer. Now look at this hammer especially. You got this hammer after a bullish candle. That means price came to the downside, or sellers pushed the price to that bottom, but buyers came back in, kicked them out and bought back all those units which sellers pushed as new supply into the market. Now look at these two candles. Next one was a green candle. It closed in green, meaning the fight between the buyers and sellers, it do happen, and at that time buyers sustained. Next candle, this is a 3-day chart, so looking at this particular candle, we can see right now buyers is still having the momentum. So if they push the price up, first one 28% to the upside, Then the next one is like 84, where we are going to get resistance. Now look at the MACD. The indicators suggest to you that we are going to break higher, and this time it may not be just that 84% because the MACD is crossing back to the upside on a 3-day, which gives you a positive outlook. And at the same time, RSI is going to cross to the upside, and if it crosses that, that's a bullish checkmate pattern moving to the upside, right? So that's getting really interesting. And then you look at the general idea of Bitcoin, because people say Bitcoin moves the market. So if Bitcoin is moving the market, you need to look at this. MACD is trending to the upside. It's bouncing to the upside. Great. RSI is near a breakout. So if you look at that breakout, it's not actually a bad deal, right? When you look at that breakout in RSI, you're kind of like, okay, that's great. That's not a bad deal. If it breaks to the upside here, price is going to retest that $50,000 mark and then $65,000 mark. So just look at that RSI and then come back to XRP. Which one do you think have higher odds of giving you the most return on your investment from this point? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So as we've been saying, this is literally happening. Now you look at a daily scenario like this and you're like, okay, that's a possibility, like this is doing like this, and the indicators are becoming bullish because the price is showing you lower low, whereas the indicator is double bottoming here in RSI and moving higher in the MACD. So that's kind of a positive signal which you get from the market. And then you look, okay, what time frame are you looking at? Literally look at this chart and the trend line, not just the time, but the trend line. You see the price is moving up. Great. Now each time it bounces really high. Next thing, first you were trending like this, then the trend started getting elevated. First, say for example here the angle is like 30 degree. But next time when we are going up, it's somewhat like 45 to 50 degree. Now, crypto really goes parabolic. So what does that parabolic movement mean? Here, if this time it's 45 degree, next time it can be 60 to 70. Whatever it is, that's less number of days. As the angle of elevation increases, the number of days taken towards reaching that top decreases. So that's exponential growth. Now look at the macro perspective. It bursted sky high. Now that was like 70,000% of price fluctuation in just 1 year. Now after which you consolidated, came back down. Now this is just basic stuff even a 5-year-old can look and see, oh wow, that's literally something like that. Say for example, you got like 3 candles to the upside. Then you stayed there for 6-7 candles. Then again you got like 1 candle to the upside, and you did all of these candles to the downside within that 1 candle. So means the bulls just kicked in 1 candle, bears needed all these candles to come back down. So that means still buyers are in the market. Impulsive movement is to the upside on the macro, and corrective wave always used to be the opposite side. And that's when you get into the market trying to find the bottom. Now, catching a falling knife is really hard. But when you try to do that, you also get low average score. When the price goes up, that rewards you. So while looking at the price action as we just explained, we also have to understand like, okay, that's great. So if these documents are showing you something that's interesting, because when you actually read this one, you kind of get, okay, this is not actually a bad deal. Why? Because they talk about the liquidity in the monetary system, and they talk about the extrinsic value in digital gold. Keep this in mind, digital gold. This is not the first time you're listening to digital gold. You can go back to my channel and look at all the documents, explanations we have given for XRP being the digital gold, not Bitcoin, actually. Now this is coming from Bank of International Settlements, IMF, United Nations, World Economic Forum, and a lot of respected, reputable organization. Now I don't know your take on those organizations, but I personally think they are doing fine. Now, if you are going to read through this, you kind of get this. With respect to crypto, the only the niche will survive. With limited use cases, crypto assets will, by definition, be not that valuable unless they are the winners of the coordination game of searching for extrinsic value in gold. Who do you think is doing this coordinated approach towards becoming the winner? You can look at the project, you can look at the developers, look at Ripple the company, look at XRP as an asset and XRP ledger as a ledger, and the developers working on XRP ledger. This shows you the level of brain power being pushed in, or the level of brain power being attracted to that particular project. So that shows the value going in. Now, yes, right now the price is not reflecting the value, and that's why we call it undervalued. And if it is skyrocketing 500x, 1000x, you'll have to reanalyze whether it's matching the current fundamental or it's overvalued. Right now, for me, XRP is undervalued. Now, continue reading this. Ultimately, crypto either has such extrinsic value without a use case, or has a use case as an NFT that predicts ownership. Now look at XRP ledger, what it is doing towards this type of ownership, which is niche by definition, that is non-fungible. Great. Now you look at different stuffs, and as you go through these documents, you get a lot more idea. Say NFTs would link to the payments ecosystem by exchangeability into CBDCs. That means you have a value which is associated with some kind of different service or goods, and then you can exchange that to the central bank digital currency. Now think, that's so easy. Here you have two different types of central bank digital currency. Now if you go into a different document here, they all talks about excuse me, they all talk about different items here, but as you come through and then look at central bank digital currencies, here you actually get like you have two different type of central bank digital currency, and they talk about the wholesale central bank digital currency, retail central bank digital currency. Yeah, here you look at this, it kind of shows you the retail central bank digital currency approach and wholesale central bank digital currency approach. Now what is so important about central bank digital currency, and especially the wholesale central bank digital currency? Because you know that wholesale central bank digital currency try to increase the efficiency and between banking sector. Now you can read from here, technologically such a system would be more efficient and faster than the current one. However, since today's system already works very efficiently and instant payment will be introduced by 2024, the effective advantages of a wholesale central bank digital currency should be very carefully clarified with regard to need and necessity. So that's where we are coming from. Look at the safety of and confidence in a wholesale central bank digital currency. The gain lies in the elimination of credit and liquidity risks in settlement. Risks in settlements. Now I don't know how many of you understand that one, but understand, settlement of a payment, a transaction settling and just giving the message of the payment is different. When you swipe your card, you're giving that message, you're not settling that transaction there. Now that's where we are coming on to the credit and liquidity risks. The money being tied up some way, moving the money just to keep this transactions alive, these are going to go away as you get central bank digital currency. Now yes, dollar to yen, dollar to yuan, or whatever use case you are looking at, euro to USD, USD to euro, whatever way, which tier you're looking at, that's fine. But all of these need a bridge asset, and that's where we are going towards. Look at the citations here. It's showing you private, public, public-private, international collaboration such as finality initiative are ideal for this purpose. Now just jump onto that one and read that citation. You understand what we are talking about. You look at through this one and then come back to the BIS citation there, and then go to different documents of BIS and understand what they are really talking. Novel technologies are creating the potential for a new means of payments to emerge. Now, do you really think Bitcoin is going to be the new means of payment? With the current scalability issue, with the current energy consumption issue, with all the different stuff associated with it, I don't think so. Now you come down here, you read this. On a general level, crypto assets suffer from several shortcomings that hamper their usage as an everyday means of payment. Now read this, be careful. While the market capitalization of crypto assets has kept growing over years, it has become increasingly clear that they are high in their price volatility. restricted scalability, limited throughput of transaction. Now, all of these are directly connecting to Bitcoin, those proof of work, proof of stake systems, which have limited transaction per second, which has a huge energy consumption compared to XRP ledger or something like that. And then they show you the price volatility. So that means one stuff, you have an opportunity, and that is this cycle. Mostly what we are going to see on a macro scale is that the price is going to get saturated at one level, where the price of this asset, if it goes as anticipated, would be so high for a common man to buy in. If they're going to buy in, they would be buying in like 0.10 XRP, 0.010 XRP, like that. So for that, imagine what would be the price. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen in this market cycle. It can happen in the next market cycle, and that literally means 8 years of holding. I listen to a lot of people saying, I'm a long-term investor in XRP, and I listen to the next step they say is like, I'm going to hold XRP for the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm sitting like this. Okay, fine. So you are a long-term XRP holder. Great. But you only have 3 to 5 years. That doesn't work that way. Look at this price fluctuation and calculate it for this cycle and next cycle. So what do you see? At least I don't see anything good happening in next 3 to 5 years in terms of value. Yes, not in terms of price. What does that mean? In next 1.5 year, yes, we are in a bull market. We are going to go sky high. But after that, you are still going to get 3 to 4 years of bear market. So now put that into perspective. It's like 5 to 6 years already done, and you are at the lowest of that bear market after 5 years, 6 years. So if you are saying I'm going to hold 3 to 5 years, that won't be the ideal stuff to do. But yes, if you have 7 to 8 years, that's like another 2 years of bull market after that. That's like fine, 7.5, 8 years. If you have that, hold it, great. But if you don't have that, look at these price structure and say, nah, I'm not going to do that. So it's better for me to take profit at the top or near to the top of this bull market. Now, you don't know where the exact top is going to be. That's why we take educated approach, right? Look at this. At first, one for asset. Now, all of these structure, I'm explaining for a lot of different assets, right? Now, look at the RSI. It shows you a bullish checkmate pattern, and you anticipate the price is going to be bullish from here. Great. And what happened next? Now we are looking at like, okay, we showed you that pattern. Patrons were really happy. Then it started breaking to the upside. The RSI just came retesting here, and the price already broke above. The volume was flowing down in the negative side and increasing on the positive side. Great. And what happened next? You just came and reached that first resistance mark. That's not a bad deal. Look at that price. The RSI came to that overbought territory and it's slowing down. So that means it's going to have a little bit of correction. Now, it went from that $200 mark towards $528 mark in a very short time when the entire market was slowing down, right? So there would be profit taking, a little bit of retracement, maybe to 450, maybe to 425, 430 level. Say even at 450, you're going to get support. It's a previous support resistance range. So similarly, we give a lot of assets, right? Updates on a lot of different assets on a regular basis so that you guys know where your assets are standing in your portfolio and what you can anticipate in next 3 months, next 6 months, next 1 year. That's going to be great. If you are a real long-term investor looking at the market like, okay, I'm going to say take a percentage of my portfolio out by the top of this cycle, say 1.5 year, then I'm going to be leaving this alone, maybe 20-30% of your portfolio for next cycle, which would be like 8 to 10 years. And if you're ready with that, that's great. And if you want such ideas about different assets to understand their perspective, where they are right now, what you can anticipate, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, as we just talked, it's literally so clear, right? You look at Bank of England page, they are also talking about the new forms of money. Now understand, this is a central bank coming out and talking about new forms of money. Those who want to read these, I'm going to put all of this link in the description below. So if you have time and you want to go deep, you're going to be able to do that. We do the research, we give you that stuff, but understand, it's really different than all the others say that we are going to reach $10,000 in a day. The hype, which is easy to sell for all the newbies out there. It's not that. We are looking at the real value, because one day the price always go above this value, meaning it becomes overvalued, and we take our profit at that time. Now, even if the value of XRP means $1,000 and in this cycle we are reaching like $100, that's still overvalued based on that time. That's why we do time series analysis. Not everyone understands this, but it's necessary to understand. If you are short in time, say you don't have next 10 years, you're looking for just one and a half year, then you need to strategize in a way that you're going to be able to take profits from all of those assets which are going to reach their target soon. You need that, right? You need to look at all those in your portfolio to understand if you have this particular asset, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to move it this way, you're going to move it that way, you're going to take profit here, you're going to take this much of profit. That's what you need as an exit strategy for your portfolio to benefit within next 1 year. 1 year is not a long time. Believe me, 1 year, just 12 months is not a big time to go from here. And as we talk, we would reach there, right? So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button so that it supports the algorithm for supporting the channel. And if you would like to get more information about the channel, you can come to the Patreon, and you want more value for your portfolio for different assets, even stocks, and to better align yourself in this current economic situation, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.